Okay, we're rolling on all fronts. I'm gonna start again. Hello, welcome once more to Lauren's Dreamhouse. I'm Lauren LaRoe. This is my podcast. Wow, what a week it's been in my world. A lot has gone on. We had some drama last week about the letter. Get to that in a second. Some scary situations occurred with some pets. Kind of bouncing all around, going all over the place. I don't know. I feel like shit today. Not feeling very good at all. Not feeling like myself. Feeling like I'm also not the only one. Also trying not to, listening back to last week's episode, I realized that I'm out of practice with the likes and the ums. So I'm going to be trying to catch myself a little bit more. So if you feel like I'm especially in my head, that's why. I don't know. Things are weird. People are being very emotional now. I think winter finally hit everybody. I think, especially me, I'm in my Cindy Lou Who era. My hair doesn't do anything good anymore. So now we put it on like a little stack on top of itself. And today was one of those days where, and this has never happened to me in my whole life, like not even as a child or like a teenager, but I put on makeup today and I tried to do like an eye makeup look that I've done before, but haven't done in like a year. And it's all very straightforward stuff, but for some reason, I just fucked it up so bad that I took it all off. And that's something that I just don't do. The beginning of this podcast is going to be for the girls and makeup wearers who listen to me. But I never fuck up my makeup. I just don't. Sorry. I'm kind of good at it. And I take pride in it and I love it. And it's rare for me to fuck up so bad that I fuck it up. So I fucked it up and I wiped it off. And then I went back in and redid everything. And then I fucked it up again. And that was like an hour and a half of like actual wasted time. I'm pissed. But there's nothing I can do about that. We settled for something a little more neutral because I gave up. And that's just the way it is. And I was like, this is just one of those days. And then I tried to do my hair and it wouldn't work. So this is the result. And every time I put my hair up now, I get self-conscious about my ears. And I've been telling this to people in my life and they don't believe me, but I feel like as I get older, my ears are becoming more like this, elf-like. And everyone's like, yeah, I mean, they look like that, but I don't think they're getting like that. And I'm like, well, great. So nobody told me that I've had stupid ears for my whole life. But I kind of feel like they've been not so much like this. Like, I don't really know what I'm doing that's making my ears fully Dumbo the hell out, but here we are. So I'm self-conscious about everything, feeling like my belly hurts and that I have no energy to do things. But look, if this is a bummer, I'm sorry. It's gonna get better over the course of this broadcast. Maybe not your life, but maybe at least the broadcast. It is going to get better. I am not gonna lie to you when I don't feel good. And if I pretended to feel good when I wasn't feeling good, I feel like you would notice. And I think you deserve more than that. So we're being real and we're being honest. However, it's also a thing where, like, let's say you're very sad. And often I am. But people ask me all the time, how are you? Right? And if I'm feeling sad, actually, regardless of how I'm feeling, I always tell people that I'm doing great, not to be polite, which a lot of people do, and that's fine, but I do it to trick myself into thinking that I am great, and it always works. It never doesn't work. It's kind of magic. And I always like to trick myself into doing things in life. I feel like tricking yourself is really powerful because there are a lot of things in life that we don't want to do, but we have to do them, or we want to become something and we don't know how. Faking it till you make it is a real thing. It's a super real phenomenon that is, I mean, there's a reason why there's a term for it. It's because it works. People fake their way into jobs and get jobs that they don't quote unquote deserve or like have experience for maybe, and they get those jobs. And for me, on a smaller level, I will tell people that I'm great when I'm not great. And you might think that that sounds unhealthy. I think it is, what's a good word for it? I don't know, I guess it just rocks. It's efficient. That's the word I was looking for. Tricking yourself into doing things is efficient. There we go again. Every time I say you have to smash that like button. You have to smash that like button the first time I say the second time I say and you recognize it, you have to subscribe. After that, third share it to a friend. Fourth report my page. I shouldn't have a podcast. It's okay. Wow. Well, it is what it is. I got a very concerning text from my friend. Well, you ever wake up? No, I'm just kidding. That used to be a really good joke in my set that, I mean, it's not a very good joke, but it always crushed in the room. I'd be like, guys, I'm having a horrible day. You ever just wake up? Haha. You know, that feeling when? But it's one thing to wake up to a scary text. It's another thing to wake up to the group text where you have like 30 unread messages, and the most recent ones that you can see, like when you click on the thing, are, oh my God, is everything okay? What can I do? Like, that's worse, right? Because it's like, oh, not only is something bad going on, but I'm the piece of shit friend who slept through the crisis. I was not there for my people when they needed me most. So it's first thing in the morning, 2 days ago or so, and I see all these missed text messages, and I'm like, oh fuck, what happened? And I click on it, and it turns out that I was being blamed for my best friend's dog almost dying, and that, tell you what, didn't feel good. But also I was like, well, what did I do? What have I done now? And what had happened was I had all of my best friends over for a cute little dinner and cocktail party like 2 weeks ago, and my apartment is very, very small. I never have anybody over, but I really wanted to get everyone in the same room. We missed like all of each other's birthdays this year and didn't have a lot of extra time, so I was like, let's all get together, everyone come over, we'll make everyone fit, because there's 5 of us. And I was like, if we need to, you know, be creative with the seating or whatever, it doesn't matter, we'll figure it out. And everyone wound up having a great time. And we drank well, actually, let's zoom out a little bit. I have 4 best friends. There's 5 of us total, we're the boys, and The boys are all very different and unique in their own sweet, special way. And the way that everyone presented themselves at this party was so just exemplative. Is that a word? It was an example of who they were. Everyone was being themselves that night, if that makes any sense. First person who rolls in is Amy, and Amy just starts laying down on my couch and screaming. And I had been cleaning for the entire day. I was straightening everything up, doing things like cleaning wise that I haven't done in my apartment probably ever. I detailed my bathroom, and my bathroom is clean, but like when you have that many people over, you just want to make sure that there's no like, you know, bullshit amongst us. So Amy comes in, I'm already exhausted, party hasn't even started yet. Amy comes in, lays down on the couch, and she starts going, ah! Just at the top of her lungs for as long as she could until that breath was over, and then she would inhale again, and then she would do the whole thing again. And I was just like, you need anything? She's like, no. I'm like, awesome, keep doing your thing, I guess. So she's screaming, and then my friend Naisha, she said, I feel bad, you're doing everything, you're cooking, you're making the drinks, you're having us over, can I bring anything? And I was like, honestly, you're at work right now. I know that you're a block away from a smoke shop. Can you just pick up some Juul pods because I'm a disaster? And she was like, of course, I'll bring Juul pods. So Amy comes in, she's screaming. Next person to come in is Naisha. And she's like, oh my God, I had the worst day. Also, I didn't get you Juul pods. And I'm like, sick. I had no Juul pods left. And I'm like, awesome. Everyone is just hitting home runs immediately. And this is a great time. So she does that. So then I'm like, all right, my other two friends are on the way. Let me text one of them because they're in a car. It was raining. I'm like, they're in a car. It won't be that big of a deal for them to stop and get some Juul pods for me. So we call Kayla and Molly, the other two, and they're like screaming at us because they didn't want to go on another errand, which is fine. They were coming from like an hour and a half away. If this story's boring you, just wait. It's gonna get better, but I need to properly set the scene. So Molly, Amy are on the phone with, not Molly, Amy, the couch screamer, Naisha, the wet one with no Juul pods, are both on the phone with Kayla and Molly, who are in a car, telling them to get Juul pods. Now they're screaming at us, saying that they don't want to run any more errands. But then they got nice and decided to do it. Then while doing that, they get hit by a car. So immediately, it's my fault, obviously. So, I mean, it's not, but like I'm thinking, you know, had I not made them do that, they wouldn't have gotten into this car accident. But they were fine. Everyone was fine. Cops weren't even called, and everyone just kind of dealt with it. So it was just funny because we didn't know they had gotten into a car accident until they come inside and they're soaking wet with the Juul pods and the giant handle of Bacardi because I was making mojitos, and they're like, we got hit by a car. So we're like, amazing. So already starting off fantastic. Then I'm making mojitos and stromboli and so on for, I don't know, 8 hours. And we kill this 2-liter bottle of Bacardi, and we're all incredibly fucked up, but not like dreadfully fucked up. Nothing's like wrong. No one's puking. No one's crying. So we cried a little bit, but I mean, what are gals to do? There's a bat in there, right?
It's the thermostat.
It's the thermostat?
Yeah.
Thermostat?
Not the thermostat, the furnace. The
right.
Thermostat?
Thermostat. There's a mouse in here.
Fergie's dad is in there.
Fergie's dad.
And he has a bat.
Awesome. Well, I knew that today was going to be my time. I So during the drunkest part of the evening, we were talking about blowjobs, obviously, and well, actually, we started talking about anal, and I was like, how does one begin? And they were just like, poppers, and I was like, oh. And it kind of ended there, honestly. I was just like, say no more, literally say no more. I understand, and I'm ready now. And we'll have the anal episode when the time comes, for sure. You can bank on that. But right now, nothing to report from the back door. But as far as I was gonna say, it's not the front door. This is what just happened in my mind. I was like, how do I describe the mouth after saying the back door? And I'm like, it's not the front door, that's my pussy. My mouth, I was gonna call it the guest house. That's so stupid. But now that's what it is. So the episode is called The Guest House. Well, it's where guests go. It's when they're not staying long. You might not even really like them that much. They stay in the guest house. And that's what blowjobs are. Back door, front door, guest house. I figured it out. Thank you. So we're talking about blowjobs, and I remembered that earlier in the year I had written a review of this product called Flint's Mints. And Flint's Mints, you may have seen them advertised to you in your algorithm if you're a big fat fucking slut, such as like me. But the marketing of this shit was so crazy earlier in the year. I would just get, like, you know how you're scrolling between people's stories and there's like ads between the stories? I would be like, oh, a dog. Look at my friend's new dress. What a nice dress. And then I would go to the next frame and it would just be some bitch drooling just like a basset, like a dog, like truly just drooling. And I'm like, who is this for? Because it's not me. And then obviously I kept watching, and it's like these mints that make you salivate super hard. So ignored those. Sorry folks, signal got cut, storage was full, you know how it is, just got so much fucking porn on my phone, just kidding. So where were we? I was writing for this online magazine for women, and I got to review a bunch of products, and I reviewed these mints. I was like, this will be a really good opportunity to buy this stuff, because normally in real life I would not, but now, damn it, I have to. So I bought every flavor, every strength. These mints come in all different strengths. They're called F strengths. And I was like, well, what's an F strength? And no one on the website or in customer service is able to or allowed to give me that answer. I find that incredibly sketchy, because I want to know what the chemical is that makes you salivate so much. But I guess if they disclose that, then other people can copy them, and then next thing you know, McDonald's comes out with a dick sucking burger, and then it's just all over and you know, whatever. So so I get these mints and I try them, and they're cool and they do work. And I'm the type of person where when I smoke weed, which is legal where I am, so it's fine, and I never did it when it was illegal, because why would I do that? I might be a slut, but I don't break the law. I liked them, but they were sketchy, and every time I smoked weed, I would pop one in and it would like get rid of cotton mouth. And I think that was part of the marketing, like to be more straightforward and be like, hey, if you have a really dry mouth, these will make you literally slobber so much that you'll choke on yourself and die. So, you know, sign me up, obviously. And then, you know, they're kind of weird. I'm not very comfortable not knowing exactly what this chemical is. So they kind of just have been on my shelf for a couple months. But once we got in this drunk part of the evening and we started talking about all this sex stuff, I was like, oh my God, guys, guess what? Santa's here. I'm going to pack you all a little to-go bag of all these dick sucking mints. Because I'm a good person and an even better friend. So I pack everyone these sketchy little baggies of these little pills, and never thought about it again. Until I get this message and I see, well, first of all, I texted my friend and I was like, my Naisha, the wet one who didn't get me jewel pods, that's how I need to save her contact in my phone now. You got a text from the wet one who didn't get you jewel pods, frowny emoji. I texted her a couple days later and I was like, how were the dick sucking mints? Did you like them? And she's like, she never responded. And I was like, guess the guest house is closed, basically. So, whatever. Then I get this crazy thread of text from my best friends, and it turns out that Kayla's dog ate all of them in one shot, and that would be bad for a human person. But this guy's a dog, and he's a crazy dog for sure. He's a very strong. You know how some dogs are just jacked for no good reason? They're like, just like in the same way that people in life are jacked for no good reason. It's like, why do you look like that? Like, you don't work out, you don't eat good, and here you are with a six-pack. Kayla's dog power lifts. So that's none of my business, but this dog destroys everyone and everything in its path, and, you know, God bless him, but he'll really go into, like, your purse and, like, eat your phone. So I kind of knew it wasn't going to be a good idea giving these things to her because I knew she was going to forget about them. And I was more afraid that she would take them by accident, thinking that they were just mints when she's super high, and then freak out because she can't swallow because her mouth is too full of her own fucking spit. That's how crazy these things are. I don't know if this is kind of an ad for Flint's Mints. I should probably send this to them so that they can sponsor me, because God knows I don't see their ads anymore, probably because they're so freaky. Like the feeling that you get like when you pop one of these is truly bizarre, and they do really work, but like they kind of also burn, and whatever. So the dog eats all of these fucking mints and then starts like hyperventilating and like slobbering everywhere, and then shitting in a way that is like, it's more like painting. It's more like expressionist painting, and just ruined her whole house, ruined her car, ruined everything. And she didn't know what he ate, and then saw the plastic and was like, oh my God, my dog just ate 900 dick sucking mints and now he's gonna die. So the dog is not, as of, what is it, Wednesday? You know, the watches that tells you what day of the week it is. It's Wednesday. The dog is not dead. I'm hoping the dog stays alive for sure, but I get this long message from her being like explaining this whole story, and at the end it just goes, so anyway, long story short, thanks a lot, Lauren. And I'm like, I don't know if this is my fault, but maybe in an adjacent way, like in the same way that, what's the doctor's name who gave Michael Jackson the drugs that killed him? I don't fucking remember, but I'll totally remember by the end of the episode. But he is in jail now because of that, and I feel like it would still kind of be my fault. It's like, I don't know, it's hard. Sound off in the comments, is it my fault or is it Kayla's fault? I'd really love to hear your opinion, because I feel bad about it, and I definitely don't want anyone or any dog or pet or anything to die because of me or some fucking dick sucking mints. Are you crazy? So that has been equally traumatizing as it has been funny. I'll say it, only because the dog is alive. If the dog was dead, it would not be funny. But because the dog is alive, we can all laugh because we live and learn, don't we, folks? So that's what happened there. Otherwise, the letter, you're gonna hate me, but this is the truth. When I got home, I realized that the letter was untouched. So I guess they weren't home. And I pussied out and I took the letter home. I took it back. So now the letter's in my apartment. I recorded the podcast at night. I came home first thing in the morning. So I was only really gone for like, I don't know, 16 hours or so. And I was like, this is not a very good representation of who I am and what I do. And also I really didn't want them to know my job. And I also felt like there are better things. I could have handled it so much better. I could have just been, it could have been a Post-it note that said, hi, I'm Lauren from redacted apartment. God, I hope I didn't say the apartment in the last pod, whatever. Brutal if I did. Now I actually have to watch it back because no way is that staying online if I did. But the good news, I guess, is that they don't know that I'm crazy. The bad news is that today, when I left to come here, I thought I left my faucet on, and I texted maybe 40 people to go into my apartment and see if they could turn it off. This would have been a great way to be like, hey guys, can you do me the biggest solid ever? You live right across from me. Can you shut my faucet off? Thankfully, Adam, shout out to Adam, Adam Reines, the beautiful, perfect boy. He drove to my apartment and went up there and reassured me that I did not leave my faucet on. So it has been worse though. I've come home from a 3-day weekend trip and my candle was still going. So that's not very good. I'm very capable of almost ruining my apartment, and I'd love to not, if that makes any sense. But I did see the couple who live across from me in the laundry room, and I was going to introduce myself, but I looked like not my best. And you know, when you meet people, you have to be fuckable. I don't know why I cared so much about looking so bad. And like, who looks good in the laundry room? I mean, usually me, but this time I was like, I want to present my best. I don't want to present like a manic, gross woman who is, I don't know. Do you ever get self-conscious that you remember somebody? Does that make any sense? Like recognizing someone and being like, hey, I know you from this thing. Like, I know that they're literally my neighbor, but in my mind, I was like, it's weird if I go up to them and be like, hey, I know you because I see you in the hallway. I've seen you in the hallway 3 times in 2 years. Is that weird? Maybe not. Is that weird?
No.
Okay. Well, I don't know. One time, not even one time, I recognize people. I was at a Yankee game and there was a girl in front of me, right? So I'm seeing the back of her head, like the actual back of her head, did not see her face. Saw the back of her head, heard her voice, went, in my head, I went, I did cheerleading with that girl literally 20 years ago. And I go over to my sister and I'm like, I am 99% sure that I did cheerleading with this person in front of us right now 20 years ago. And my sister's like, there is quite literally no way. And I was like, watch this. And I tapped the girl and I'm like, hey, are you Brittany? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, oh, oh. And shout out to Brittany. I believe she's married now. So good for her and good for me, honestly, because when you've been in the you know what, never mind. Good for me is all I'm going to say. What are the other notes that I had? Is there anything, you mentioned something before. Is there anything else? This
George Santos.
This one. Oh yeah, George Santos is on Cameo. Oh, I really wanted to do the rack reaction, but I didn't bring my laptop. It sucks because last week I was like, next week I'm going to talk about the rack reaction. or the Rack Review. It's Dalton's podcast, which, by the way, Dalton Pruitt, corn-fed, like and subscribe. That kid is working his ass off, putting out so much content every single day. He's a master and a genius and a friend. So give him a follow if you're seeing this. I know this one was a little boring and a little bit like, you know, cool story, bro, but at the same time, life's not always piggity poppin'. You feel me? Sometimes life is, I almost killed my friend's dog and my belly hurts. Sometimes that's just what life is. And I guess, I mean, yeah, DJ Ray Chill just brought up the brilliant fact that George Santos has a cameo. And I think that's important because the holidays are coming up. The holidays are so close. And George Santos really is just saying whatever he wants in these cameos. And whether they're true or not, like the messages that he's being paid to say, whether they have any like real life roots, I don't care. It's indicative of someone who, like, you know, will receive your $500 and just like really give you the value of that transaction, you know?
He's made more off of this short stint on Cameo than he did in a whole year being in the Senate. 170 grand.
Really?
Yeah.
You looked it up?
I was told.
You were told?
I was told.
By who?
The news.
Which is always right. So that's good. Yeah. Yeah, George Santos, I was talking to, Thank you. I was talking to DJ Ray Chill last night and explaining kind of the overview of George Santos as a person, just like, you know, lying politician, but like lying at lengths that are just unprecedented. So he was like, well, what do you mean? Like, how many lies? What are the lies? And I'm just like, get a load of this. And I knew that like by now there would be a really good article that is comprehensive of just like everything, like just a running list of all the lies. And it's,
we go through the list?
Yeah, let's pause and go through the list. We're recording again. I realized I was looking for my phone and it dawned on me that I'm recording with it. So right, Ray Chill, yeah. I had him look up, he said, what do I look up? And I said, I don't know, list of all of George Santos's lies. So
and the first result is, here's every single lie told by George Santos.
Exactly.
New York Magazine.
Exactly. Yeah, the New York Mag one was the one that I was pulling from. So in case, because like SNL makes fun of George Santos and he's been a running joke for a very long time at this point, but it's kind of hard to wrap your head around exactly how much he did. And also it shines a light on the fact that literally no one cares about anything and anyone can do anything. And that should be inspiring to you. You should be inspired right now. So get ready to be incredibly inspired by how much this person got away with by just saying it. Wow, full circle, honestly. And we will end on this because I started this by being like, fake it till you make it. It works. And here we are. This is George Santos, the absolute epitome of fake it till you make it. But then he made it and then he unmade it. So, but now I guess he's crushing it on fucking Cameo. But this is what he did. So he allegedly lied to donors, then used their money to make purchases at Hermes and OnlyFans. Very cool. Then used campaign money for personal travel and Botox. Would do the same. He allegedly lied to collect unemployment benefits, which is so funny because your boy was employed. And by the way, he was employed as a regional director of a Florida-based investment firm, earning a very good salary. So, wild. Then he allegedly committed identity theft, which you have to if if you're gonna claim unemployment while being employed, right? Are we connecting the dots here? He allegedly lied to Congress. He reimbursed himself for loans he didn't make. So awesome. That's honestly cool idea, cool party trick. Lied about where he went to high school. That's so funny to me because it doesn't matter what high school you went to. Like, there's a coming out of a bad high school and being successful, or coming out of a good high school and being successful. Like, they're equal. There's merit to both of those things. Like, if you come out of a good one and you're successful, then it's like, yes, you went to a good high school, so that makes sense. But then if you came from a, bad high school, or like, I don't even know what bad would mean in this context, but just like not as prestigious, like, then you get to be like, yeah, it started from the bottom, now we're here, but whatever. He lied about that. And then he also lied about where he went to college. Oh yeah, so he claimed he went to Baruch, I don't know. I went to Rutgers, so don't expect me to know how to read or pronounce anything. And he said but he actually went to NYU. Oh, but NYU could not corroborate. He didn't graduate. Oh, he later told the New York Post that he didn't graduate from any institution of higher learning. Wow. So just went to high school. I guess that's why. But also, good on you if you didn't spend money going to college, but you got to say you went to a college and no one checked. That's pretty much how life works. I was explaining to someone the other day that, like, the only time anyone ever asked for my college diploma was when I was a substitute teacher in my former school district for literally one day. And then I got another job, but because I was going to be in some kind of teaching adjacent capacity, like, I had to prove that I went to college. But otherwise, like, I don't even think that there's a way that they can look that up. Like, when you're on LinkedIn and you say what college you went to, the college doesn't, like, verify that. Like, there's no verification for this. So anyway, my point is lie about everything. Lie about where you went to college. I basically went to Harvard. He also, something about his grandma, which was really funny. Oh yeah, he lied about founding an animal charity. And then he he took money from a disabled veteran for that dog, for the veteran's dog's surgery. And then he took the money and then the dog died. So that's pretty chill. And then he may have, this is journalism right here, he may have ripped off an Amish dog breeder with a bad check. Honestly, you gotta pull off that heist just for the bit. Apparently he said that he was gay, but he was divorced from a woman. So I guess if you do divorce a woman, you are gay. So that's true. Then here it says, it's unclear if his mother's death was related to 9/11. Yeah, because he said on Twitter that September 11th, quote unquote, claimed his mother's life. But she passed away from cancer 15 years after. Oh, but that happens all the time because, like, the fucking dust and stuff that happened. I don't know. I'm not going to speak unkindly on Mrs. Santos, but I hope you're alive, girl. It also says his grandmother was definitely not a Holocaust victim. Same. And he claimed that he had employees who died in the Pulse nightclub shooting. It's so random to lie this hard. Like, he said he was Jewish, he's not Jewish. He said his niece got kidnapped and she wasn't kidnapped. That's probably, I want to know which one of these things, like, set everything off. Oh yeah, also he was a drag queen in Brazil. Said he was on Hannah Montana, wasn't. Said he was a Broadway producer, wasn't. Said he was a journalist in Brazil, was a drag queen instead. his drag queen name should just be George Santos. Because drag queens in a way are lying, right? So the epic lie. I don't know, guys. I guess we'll leave it there. I think I'm going to start making these shorter unless I have a lot to say. But I don't want to waste your time, and I want you to keep coming back for more. I promise I'll have more energy next week. I'm about to get my period. Things are just kind of internally exploding. I really don't feel good, and the only thing I did was kind of almost kill someone's dog. So that's kind of the vibe. But I love you all very much. Next week we will do the rack review, which is even more important now, as I had started saying before when I was talking about Dalton, because he got banned from TikTok because of the rack reviews. He no longer is on TikTok, which is really sad because it was very entertaining. And I believe that basically free Dalton. This episode is either going to be called Guesthouse or Free Dalton. So I will figure that out later. But for now, I'm Lauren LaRoe. This is Lauren's Dreamhouse. You guys are my favorites, and mommy loves you. Mwah.